Hello, welcome to my channel. I found this for you, and I thought, well, I'll scroll through it and zoom in, whoops, so you can see where I got it from, but I've zoomed in, and it's from August 14th, 2015, and it's got like 144 people. And it says many are connected to the killing fields of Highway 2 as well, which I had never heard of the killing fields of Highway 2. And most of the ones that I'm doing are up to 2000, the year 2000. So some of the ones that are in here are not ones that I'm doing yet. And some of them are, but I thought I could scroll through it and you can pause it and read it, because it says it's really hard to find their names on the internet. And one of them is one that's I know is on my list that I'm doing that's before 2000, but it's on here as well. So I thought, well, because I know some of these are really hard to find, because some of them are on my list, and some of the ones that are on my list I went through a couple of different missing websites, databases and stuff to try to make a list. And I know that one of these, at least, wasn't on those databases, and I found it on another one. And then I went to try to find other information about them on the internet, and I couldn't. And then they were on this list. So, and I think there's quite a, I think I've ran across some other ones that I have on my list that this list didn't come up when I was searching for their names, so they're probably not on this list, but this is another list. We need all the lists we can get, right? Because it would be better if they were all on one list. And I don't know if they are all on one list or not, because some of them aren't. Some of them I find on Namus, and they're not on the Charlie Project, and they're not on Doe Network. Sometimes I find them on the Charlie Project or Doe Network, and they're not on Namus, so they're not on all of them. And then there's a missing one, and that missing one, I can't remember what it's called. It's called missing something, missing in something, and it has some on it that are not on the Charlie Project or Doe Network, but I don't know if it has all of the ones from the Charlie Project or the Doe Network or not, or where that one gets its names from. So there's different lists, but it doesn't seem like they're complete. And I don't know if anybody has a complete list. So isn't that crazy? I thought about singing a song while I scrolled through, but I'm allergic to critters, and I can't hardly breathe this morning, and I thought I'd sound like I was singing through my nose. So that'll be something to do. And I'm nervous. I don't like to sing in front of people. I didn't mind singing around my kids and singing to my kids, but other than that, it's nerve-wracking. I don't know how people do it. So we're just going to scroll through, and I'm just going to talk. You'd be like, what is she doing? Turn that sound off. That sounds like two cats fighting. Isn't that funny? Sometimes I think I do when I sing along. I sing really loud, like if I'm home alone, I'll sing really loud. Poor neighbors. I cannot believe somebody did a really good job making this list. I mean, they're not organized by, like, this is 1983 last seen, and this is last seen 2009. So I guess They organized them, and I don't know if the area that they're organized is the area they went missing, or if it's the area they're from. But they have some good information on here. It looks like they tried to find as much information as they could about each person when they made this list. And it's wonderful that they posted it and shared it to try to get more information so they could do stories about them. I think that's a really awesome thing they did. But the one person that I read their name on here, when I did a Google search, I didn't come up with a story about them, so I don't know if they did a story about... I don't know if they did the stories about all of these people or not. Because when I did the Google search and then the stories came up, so maybe you have to have access now to each individual paper to even see that they did stories about things, which would be a bummer, because I'm not going to subscribe to every newspaper there is to look for my stories. But they have that newspapers thing where you can search through, I think, and I think it has a lot of newspapers included in it. Is this only... Oh, I think they number them different. Last seen 2015. Last seen December 2004. Last seen 2014. 2013. There's so many of them. And I'm not even halfway through. But if you're pausing it, you don't even hear me talking probably anyway. That's interesting names, too. I feel like I should go through them and see and make sure they're on my other list, but even if I miss them, I have this list. So I'm posting it. I don't know. I'll probably make sure they're on my list later. I'm so hungry. My husband just called me on the phone, says he has to drive by the house. Did I want anything from McDonald's? And I was like, yes, of course I do. I think they have specials right now where you can get like a McGriddle and a hash brown for like $2.50 or something like that. Or you can get 2 sausage biscuits for $2.50. Remember they used to be $1 each, but yeah. I don't care. I love a sausage biscuit with grape jelly on it. Which I'd never had. I never usually put grape jelly on my sausage biscuits until I moved to the South again. And in the southern states, it's a big thing, you know. And I don't know if it's by different races that normally do it or different neighborhoods, but I don't know. Somebody's like, oh yeah, you need to put grape jelly on your sausage biscuit. I'm like, okay. Sounds weird to me, but it's really good. And we have a stray dog that, because people are always dropping out their dogs around our neighborhood. So many people in the neighborhood have adopted strays, and I'm allergic. But this dog, she was pregnant and going to have puppies, and she would run through the yard. We'd see her running through the yard on the cameras, running through with the other dogs, and we would leave food for her, and then she would stay here, and then she was pregnant. So we had to deliver the puppies, and I called around trying to see if any of the neighbors wanted her, and nobody wanted her. So we had to watch YouTube videos to see how to deliver the puppies. And then we had the puppies in the house for a week, 7 days, and I'm allergic. So we got rid of the chickens and put the puppies in the chicken coop. And then we sold the puppies. We got their shots. You have to give them, like, they have to have 3 or 4 shots. So we got enough shots to be able to give them 3 up until we got rid of them, and they had to be refrigerated, and we ordered like a 24 pack and kept them in the fridge. So we would give them their shots, and then we would, if we sold them, we sold them for like $50, so that would pay for some of the food and the shots, but it didn't nearly pay everything it cost to take care of them. And then we had those cases, those dog carriers, for some of them if they needed them too. So now we bought dog carriers used, and there's dog carriers in the yard for people that didn't need them. And then if they only had 1 shot or 2 shots, we would just give them the other shots to take with them. My husband would try to show them how to give them the shot, which we watched on a YouTube video. And then the mom, we couldn't find anybody that wanted her, and we didn't want her to go to somebody that would use her to have puppies because she's so beautiful. She's a brindle dog. So we went and took her and got her fixed and got her microchipped, and now she's our doggie. So if I want to go for a walk, I have a doggie to go for walks with. So then if we get sausage biscuits, we've got to get her one too. But I'm allergic to her, so I try to stay in the bedroom as much as possible, because if it's cold out and winter out and stuff like that, we had to let her in the house. So a lot of times she's used to coming in the house now because of the winter. So we let her in during the summer too at night and stuff, so she don't bark all night and keep us up. So she kind of stays in the living room, and I kind of stay in my room as much as possible. But she's a really good doggie. I hate it when I go to Walmart now and everybody brings their dogs and they think they're so cute, but they're just pets. And I'm allergic, and it's a common allergy. And then there's dog hairs in places, and dog poo and stuff in the frozen food aisle and the grocery aisle. And I wish people would consider, I understand when they take them to places like Home Depot and Lowe's, and I expect them to be there, or even like Tractor Supply, because they, do things for the animals. But when you go to buy groceries at a grocery store, or when I go out to eat some places, people bring their cute little dogs, and I'm allergic. And I'm like, whoa, why do you have a dog with a lot of hair on it in a restaurant, I love the doggies, they're really cute, but there's dog parks and things like that, And I feel bad for children that are allergic to dogs, or people that are like afraid to say, hey, I'm allergic to the dogs. And I think that the people that think their dogs are so cute and they bring their dogs with them, I think they forget. I think they don't realize that so many people are allergic to dogs. So now I'm rambling on about things that have nothing to do with these missing people. But I can't believe there's so many on another list that are hard to find. And I know the one is hard to find because it's on my list, and I think I'll do the video on it next. Another ad. I tried to get rid of the ads. But the phone rang, and by the time I got back to it, I like the way they say whether they're deceased victim. I hope they did the reports on them individually. It'd be nice to call and ask. Because then maybe I could subscribe to get the information. Keep this in your pocket. Bread clip. I don't know why. Joe Weisenberger. Let's see, 1980. Bill Dwayne Wheeler, missing person. See, I don't know if Weisenberger is on my list. He should be. But I don't know. I have to check. I might have to go through this list and check and see if they're all on my list, but I'm going to wait till I've done with my whole list before I do something like that. Because I've went through so many lists trying to get them all together. Yamamoto. Last seen 2009. Wow, I think that's all of them. Because it says share this, so... when I first read it, at the top where the address is, I thought it said SnoCoReporter. Because it says SnoCoReporter. Well, it says SnoCoReporter, so... Because it's snow for some... I guess for Snohomish, and CO for county, SnoCoReporter, so I thought it said SnoCoReporter. So there's you another list if you're trying to keep lists or create lists or have them all, because, you know, especially if you're going through the does and looking and trying to connect them, or anyway, I don't know if you're interested in that, but if you are, there's a video on it. Anyway, and you can always go there and print it out if you have printed out lists. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm not going to do my missing person in this video. I'm going to do them in a separate video. So don't forget to pray for their family and their loved ones. And if you have any information on any of those cases or any other cases, and you've been holding back that information, contact the authorities and give it to them. Whether you think it's, you know, nonsense, or you're not sure if it's real, you're not sure if it's true, you heard it from somebody who was drinking, let them know, let them decide. And don't forget to pray for their loved ones and the investigators. And please feel free to leave a comment, and have a great day. Bye-bye.